illicit activities and criminal activities, and even the rise of the genre of the detective story, the mystery story. It really takes off in modernity with Poe and others. Narrativizing this new sense of what one can do with a sense of being not culpable, you know, and really mobilizing, I think, as well, deeper issues about the subjectivity of the period. You know, in some fundamental ways, we're mysteries to ourselves as well, and I think the experience of anonymity is a really important and significant aspect of subjectivity since the rise of modernity. And the last sort of term or category is the rise of very significant data collection and study. This is really the genesis of significant work in sociology and number crunching and the gathering of statistics, which is at the core of a lot of surveillance culture. And there's a terrific scholar of surveillance culture, a guy named David Lyon, who situates the rise of surveillance in this very era, which I think is interesting. So today, these same dynamics, these same kinds of issues still exist, but in an era that's often called, you know, the postmodern. And there are a lot of things to say about the postmodern, but it tends to mean for many a different kind of experience of reality and virtuality, and a kind of a blurring of those categories that didn't seem to be the case previously, which I think is very interesting. And the clip that I want to show you talks about the reality of social networking, which I think is kind of a surprise to a lot of people. So let me just quickly say that, to continue on the David Lyon thing, and then I'll show you this clip. Lyon makes the point that surveillance today is a very different kettle of fish, in part because of the very technologies that enable social networking and other kinds of interactions online. So that today surveillance has become algorithmic, technological, preemptive, and classificatory. So it's in many ways enabled by these very machines that we're talking about, and it takes on a very different set of characteristics. So that the question of whether indeed we're invisible when we're online, I think is a real question, and part of the set of conditions that we need to think about. So in terms of media ecology, I see this as being very closely connected with what we think of as the traditions of critical thinking, which is also, I think, the best